Hello people, and welcome to another Btekt. David here, and if you're interested in mobile tech, then this is the place to be. Today I'm talking about the Nokia 7.1. I first saw this one a couple of weeks back at the launch in London, where we were given a device to play around with for a few hours, but we had to return it at the end of the night. And now I've been reunited with my copy. So let's turn it over and have a look at some of the features you get with this handset. Like the 5.8-inch pure display in a 19:9 aspect ratio with Full HD Plus resolution, HDR video playback with high contrast and vibrant colours, a 12 and a 5 megapixel dual camera system with Zeiss optics and an 8 megapixel wide angle front facing camera. There's also AI imaging with dual sight camera mode and live streaming, and it's all powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 636 mobile platform. So let's have a look inside and see what's included. As well as the very attractive looking handset, in here you'll find all the usual bits and pieces that you need to get started. We have a USB Type-C cable, a pair of normal headphones, not a USB Type-C because we have a headphone jack with the 7.1, and a fast charging power brick. Now this handset is extremely good value. £299 will get you one of these, and for that you're getting the amazing Nokia build quality, HDR compliant screen, and 3 years of software support via the Android One program. It's an aluminium unibody squeezed between Gorilla Glass 3 on the front and just strengthened glass on the back. The glass and diamond cut metal sides give it a premium look and feel. The chamfered edges and trim around the camera bump all have an anodized silver finish, and overall it's a very classy look. That's until you turn it round and see the screen. Now don't get me wrong, this is a very good screen, especially at this price point. It's a 5.8-inch IPS LCD display with Full HD Plus resolution at 1080 by 2280. The pixel density registers at 432 ppi, and it has a contrast ratio of 1,000,000:1. So it's a well-spec'd screen, especially for a mid-range device. But the 7.1's trump card is that it's a HDR10 compliant display. This means that you can view back HDR content or high dynamic range content, and even upscale standard content to HDR. Video shot in HDR retains more detail in both the shadows and the highlights, giving you a more evenly lit image. More and more HDR content is becoming available to stream. It's even supported on YouTube now, and I'm sure that over the next 3 years, it will increase hugely, which we know this handset is good for. But even the non-HDR content is converted, and it looks great. I have to say, this is a very, very good screen. So what's my problem? Well, it's that dreaded combination of the notch and the chin. Usually I'm cool with notches, they don't bother me too much, especially when you're able to hide them effectively. And truth be told, this isn't a particularly distracting notch. It's just that chin that gets me. It's massive. Bezels on both sides would have been fine. Nobody would have minded, especially in a £300 phone. And I think the symmetry would have added to the aesthetic. If it absolutely had to have a notch, then it needed to have a much smaller bottom bezel. This one has even enough room for a Nokia logo down there. And because this handset runs Android One, there isn't a way to hide the notch. So you're kind of stuck with it there. So if you really don't like notches, then you might want to give this one a miss. Chin gate aside, there's not really much else to complain about here. Despite its asymmetry, the screen is very good. Inside the Nokia 7.1, there's a Qualcomm Snapdragon 636 paired with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage. Or if you pay a little bit more, about 20 or 30 quid more, you can have one with a 464 configuration. There's also upgradable storage to 400 gigabytes through the microSD card, which I think you will probably need as shooting in 4K fills up your memory pretty quickly. But if you feel you don't need the memory card and would rather have dual SIMs, then that option's available too. This is all powered by a 3060 mAh battery that supports fast charging at 18 watts through the USB Type-C port. And you can get up to 50% in just half an hour. It's running Android 8.1 on the Android One program, which means that 2 years of operating system updates and 3 years of security patches are promised. So no manufacturer-specific operating skin overlaid, which some people think is an inferior version of Android, while others see the benefits, like having a very secure device, or the extra storage that you get compared to a phone that's running with a skin. An upgrade to Android 9 Pie is promised very soon, which will add more AI features such as the adaptive battery that will save battery power by limiting the use of the background apps. Btekt is sponsored by Direct Mobiles. They are a mobile phone specialist and well worth a look if you need a new phone. They have a big selection of the latest handsets and great customer service. Over 23 years of award-winning customer service, so you know you're in good hands. Check in the video description below for a link to their website, or search directmobiles.co.uk. On the back of the Nokia 7.1 is a dual camera system, a 12 megapixel main sensor with dual pixel and phase detection autofocus, and a Zeiss f1.8 lens. This is paired with the 5 megapixel depth sensor with an f2.4 lens, and as I said before, the pictures are impressive. Even in fairly tricky lighting situations, the Nokia does well to keep noise to a minimum. The 7.1's AI enhanced front camera is an 8 megapixel sensor with a 24mm full frame equivalent view and an f2.4 lens, and this uses facial recognition to animate 3D masks and filters. And again, I'm very impressed with the images that you get out of it. They are sharp and have natural colours, and that 24mm focal length is nice and wide for when you want to capture more than just yourself. The camera app has thankfully had an update since previous models. It's better thought out and now has an iPhone style appearance with all the different modes listed across the bottom. Everything you might need is within easy reach now, with you only really needing to go into the settings to change your resolution. Some of the photo modes from left to right start with square, which just takes a picture with a square aspect ratio. Not sure why, but it does. The next one is panorama, which lets you get a panoramic shot from either panning left, right, or up and down. Live bokeh is the portrait mode, and it seems to work really well, but I'm sure like most portrait modes, it's not flawless. So we'll have to wait for my camera review, or maybe have a comparison between this and the Honor 8X. They both are roughly the same price, and both seem to have seriously good cameras, so I'll be doing that as soon as I can. The Pro mode on the Nokia can be accessed by just swiping up on the on-screen shutter button at any time, giving you control of all the camera settings. Max ISO is 3200 and the max shutter speed is just 4 seconds. It would have been nice to have had a little bit more exposure time because I'm consistently getting very good results from this camera. For the main photo mode, HDR is selected automatically and it gives great results. Generally, I'm really feeling this camera, and you can tell that Zeiss branding is not just a gimmick. Video is shot up to 4K at 30 frames per second, although you might want to stick at 1080p as the EIS doesn't work at 4K, but it does a very good job at 1080p. Overall, it's a very impressive camera setup, and I will go into more detail in my full camera review, which will be coming very soon. I'm going to have to compare this too with the brilliant camera system on the Honor 8X. It just goes to show that you don't have to spend a lot of money these days to get a really good camera on your smartphone. Well, anyway, that's it from me for today. Look out for my full camera review and comparisons. I think it will be an interesting one because they're both very affordable phones and yet take brilliant pictures. If you like this video, then I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, double click that notification bell, and this time gently tap that like button. Don't smash it. I got a message from a viewer, Stuart Harvey Wilson, saying that their friend's little boy destroyed the iPad when I said to smash it. So go easy on it this time. I'm David Wildman and this was Btekt.